We are in game number 1, guys. Hera versus Miguel. One with the Chinese and the Hindustanis. On the left and right hand sides of the map. Hera's gonna be closer to the west corner. Miguel's gonna be closer to the south corner of the map. And for these civilizations, we'll see, first up, Hera, the Chinese, gets 3 extra villages spawn starting the game at the expense of 200 food and 50 wood. In addition to that, we also see for the Chinese 5 extra line of sight and TCs, 5 higher population support per TCs, as well as 10, 15, 20% cheaper upgrades in the Field Castle and Imperial Ages. And for the team bonus, there is a 10% boost on food, on the farm food for free. New to the stream? Hey, Secrets of the Book. Hi, welcome. And we were talking about the Chinese. Let's talk about the Hindustanis. Miguel's civilization will provide them with 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villagers in the Dark Field Castle and Imperial Ages. Besides that, we also see from Mr. Miguel +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, 25% faster attacking camel units. And for the team bonus, we're gonna have for Hindustanis 2 bonus damage from light cavalry, hussar, and camel units against buildings. So yeah, the players are already going up to the field age. We don't have too much time over here to take a look at the map, so we're gonna do it very quickly. Starting with Hera first, we're gonna see the bull player. He's got the main goal on the right hand side, very exposed to the ice. We have also secondary goals to the northeast and to the southwest, so in opposite directions, and then the stones are both going to be on the left hand side. He should be pretty easily able to secure himself by going for some walls like this. This way he secures 2 stones, the gold, but no wood lines, and these golds are not super safe. In the end, it's going to go for the walls like this instead, which means that that stone is not going to be secured. Miguel, on the other hand, is already going for the walls himself. He's got the main gold exposed in the north. He's got the secondary gold on the left hand side, the other secondary gold towards the southeast, secondary stone on the right hand side, and the main stone on the other hand is going to be forward. By the walls he's trying to go for over here, he won't really be able to secure this, or this, or this. So the only thing that he secures is the secondary gold over there. However, unlike Hera, he does actually have a map generation that allows him to secure a woodline, which is very nice, especially against the Chinese. Why are the Chinese considered flexible? I mean, Italians get roughly every unit in tech and condottieri too, and cheaper stuff. Why are the Chinese considered more flexible? They're not necessarily considered more flexible per se. I think the Italians are pretty flexible, but there are a few differences. Like the Italians are going to get a 20% discount on gunpowder units, which is going to be mainly relevant in the Imperial Age. They do get bombard cannons, which the Chinese don't. Well, the Chinese get camels and the Italians don't, for instance, just to name a few differences. But the difference is that the Italians are not going to be able to take advantage of everything all the time. For instance, the gunpowder bonus, right? You need to get to the Imperial Age first. The Chinese are probably not any more versatile compared to some other civilizations, but they are considered some of the most versatile, stronger civilizations. They are a top tier civilization for maps like this, for open maps. And in that situation, they are more versatile compared to some of the other top tier civilizations, such as the Aztecs, or the Hindustanis even. Oh, what happened over here? 10 minutes into the game. We could read if you want. Oh! This is my main goal or yours? Yes. Hera? What is he talking about? His main gold is on the right hand side. No. The map is fine. So yeah, I would say that it's not so much that the Chinese are much more flexible compared to some of the other civilizations, but they are very good at many different things compared to some of the other top tier civilizations for these kinds of maps. Like, you would not go for Italians, for instance, on a map that is very open and it's only land. But the Chinese are certainly going to shine over there. They get the cheaper upgrades. That's a very nice discount. They get a bunch of units. Compared to the Italians specifically, they also get some better siege with access to siege tram, for instance. But yeah. Full blacksmith as well. Which is great. Yeah, no problem. Having the full blacksmith is actually one of the things that impacts the most as well, because having access to a unit line does not mean that they are going to be strong units for you. Kind of like the Ethiopians and the camels, right? You rarely ever see Ethiopians go for camels. They get atrocious upgrades for cavalry. But the Chinese are not like that. The Portuguese are also quite flexible in that sense, in the sense that they get good cavalry. It's not the best. Compared to Italians, they don't get Hussar, for instance. But they get Cavalier, they get fully upgraded Arbalesters. As well, pretty good infantry, the Portuguese that is. And it's even better compared to the Italians in that sense. But yeah, you're not seeing it very often, right? And 1v1 open maps, which is the context in which I think the Chinese are usually praised. Italians have a full blacksmith too, I think. I believe they are missing plate. No. They do have plate mail armor. Oh, I think they do have plate mail armor, right? Give me a second. Because they have the condottieri. I think they do. Hold on. I think you're correct. I think they might actually have the full blacksmith. Let me check. Yeah, you're right. They do get it. No, Italians, they do get bloodlines. They get bloodlines, they get husbandry. They don't get paladin, but then for everything else, they have everything. They get Hussar, they get Cavalier. +4 attack, +3, +4 defense. They're pretty good. And for infantry, they get everything. Supplies, I am not sure they get, actually. That's something you guys would have to let me know. Don't remember the Italians get it specifically. Yeah, so maybe it's kind of comparable infantry, I guess, between both civilizations. Can you still hear the lumberjack? Let me know. I tried to switch the angle of the microphone, so hopefully it does not pick up from it quite as much. And sorry about that, if you're watching this on YouTube, somebody decided to go choppa in the block, and at the beginning of the game you could hear much louder, but right now it seems like it stopped. Okay. Alright. So back to the game. The Castle Age has already been reached for both these players. Miguel is going for a second TC, Hera is on 2 TCs already, and he's going for the third TC, but we see the third TC on the way now for Miguel as well. He's got cheaper villagers. Miguel in the Castle Age, that's already 20% cheaper. For 5 villagers, Hera goes for. Miguel's gonna be able to go for 6 for the same cost. So we'll see if he can take advantage of it. Usually you'll see the Hindustanis actually go for more than 3 TCs. Usually we're gonna see Hindustanis go for at least 4 TCs. Italians do get supplies? Yeah, I was wrong then. I think... yeah, it's better infantry for the Italians because Portuguese, they don't get squires, for instance. Yeah, they're good. Just not Arabia good. Or Arabia S tier. Another civilization that is very, very versatile is the Magyars as well. They get fully upgraded Hussar. Infantry is not good for them. Infantry is not the best for them. Like it's not the worst in the game, but it's not the best for them. They do lack plate mail armor. However, they do get fully upgraded Hussar. Paladin, Arbalisters, and Cavalry Archers. In addition to the Magyar Hussar unit, which is absolutely out of this world as well. But it's going to be another one of those situations, right, where you probably prefer to go for some of the other stronger civilizations for the maps that usually the Chinese get praised for. They like siege engineers. I think that's why they aren't used as much. I don't know. I don't know if that'll be the reason. The overall siege for Italians is very lackluster. Except for the 20% discount on gunpowder units, the rest is pretty lukewarm. They don't get siege of anything. In the sense they don't get siege ram, they don't get siege engineer, onagers. They get heavy scorpion, onager, and cap ram only. So the siege is not the best, and yeah, like a siege engineer certainly hurts the bombard cannon as well. But yeah, against the Chinese specifically, that doesn't really hurt, right? The Chinese don't get bombard cannon at all. But yeah, I think it's probably just a matter of context. Chinese being as versatile as they are amongst the strongest civilizations for open maps. And there we are, the Fortresses is finally coming out for Hera now. He's gonna try, for Miguel, sorry, he's gonna try and secure the main stone. I think he might actually have been able to go for the TC on the right hand side instead, probably around here, wouldn't he? I think he might have been able to do that. I think there are 4 tiles over there. That is interesting. Okay. Whatever. Maybe even in between the resources and just collect from both. It seems to me like it'd be in Miguel's best interest to try and collect from the exposed resource first, so that in case he gets pushed back, he's got still resource in the back, right? Like if Hera, he's going up to the Imperialists right now. If Hera came over and dropped the castle over here, let's say, then Miguel runs out of resources here, and where does he go? This one is, yeah, very, very exposed, right? And this one wouldn't be safe. So he's gonna try and get a castle up. This one from Miguel is going to prevent Hera from stealing this gold, but it's not really going to protect it. As the blue player, even with something as simple as a tower around here, would still be able to deny the gold. Arena like Ghost Lake? Full walls. Full walls, my man. Once again, we are behind a little bit this game compared to live gameplay, but we are going to have less downtime between games 1 and 2 and games 2 and 3. Really should be on the way for Miguel very soon as well. Hera is only behind by 7 workers. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. He's collected 4 relics, does not have all 5. He's trying to find the 5th one, but it looks of it he did not really spot it, but in the end Miguel took it. The Imperial is here for Hera, so see a castle coming up on the left hand side. Not the biggest fan of this castle location, probably would have preferred for him to try and be a little bit more aggressive with a head start that he's got to the Imperial Age, but of course by the time he sent the villagers forward and by the time the castle had come up, for all Hera knows, Miguel probably would have been able to get to the Imperial Age himself, so it will be a little bit higher risk for Hera to go for a 4 castle instead. He's got the Arbalisters now, just trying to put some pressure, trying to push the villagers away from resources. Unlikely he'll be able to get too much damage done here with these units as he's chased away by skirmishers. Yeah, that is not good. Hera will get cleaned up over here if he does not pay attention. But yeah, he's got chemistry on the way, scale barbed armor, and once he gets the castle, he'll be able to start going for churches. Very important, in my opinion, for Hera to start going for the Trefs, especially now that he knows about the castle over here. If we take a look at Hera's point of view, he knows about the main gold. He knows about this gold as well, so if he can go for trebuchets, go forward, take the castle down and push Miguel away. He knows that there's only one goal Miguel's gonna have access to, which currently holds about 800 gold only, so it's not going to sustain Miguel's economy, Miguel's gold income for too long. And Hera's not going for turrets though. What is the plan for the blue player? It's got chain bar and armor, cavalier on the way, husbandry. He just finished researching. He's got forging, and if that wasn't clear enough, he's got the actual units pouring out of the stables already, and it's going to be a cavalier play for Hera. Cavalier arbalister. What else? Still waiting for the cherry chase. No cherry chase to be seen. Probably respecting the possibility for bombard cannons for him to send it. I don't know, that seems kind of awkward. He had such a massive head start to the Imperial Age, he probably would have been able to get the castle down by this point already. Here we go. Gulam coming out now for Miguel. Not in enough numbers, not enough against the Cavalier. Hera does not struggle against these units one bit. Here we are. We'll encounter range units, right? Can you remember? Yes, they are very high pierce armor. It's the Hindustani's alternative to the Eagle unit. But unlike the Eagle, actually, they have no bonus against cavalry. So, any standard cavalry over here is going to obliterate the units. And Hera is going to start making a switch over to light cavalry. Is he running low on gold? I don't think so. He's got access to this gold. He's got the main gold safe. I don't know. He probably just wants a cheaper meat shield. And finally, Cheriches are on the way for the blue player. Miguel, on the other hand, he's kind of cornered compared to Hera. He's occupying about 15% of the map. While the blue player is in a much broader area. But he's gotta be careful. A larger kingdom is going to be harder to keep protected. Miguel's gonna try to take advantage of that. He sends some of the Gulam forward already. If we take a look at Miguel's point of view, he's got no idea of anything that Hera's gone for outside the walls. All he knows that Hera had some walls coming up over here in the feudal age. And that's about it. Here we are. Cherish is finally deploying. The Cavalier had a beautiful defense against the Gulam. And here comes the second Cherish. Miguel's going for Heavy Camel. He's going for Trunk Road. It's going to increase gold income for him. See Chain Bar and Armor coming out for +2/+2. It's going to need to go for Play Bar and Armor. And ideally Imperial Camel as well. Right now he's going for the upgrades, but he's got no units though. 56 Gulam for Miguel, and it's still not going to be enough against the 38 actually Cavalier that Hera's got. And he will need to sacrifice the Gulam though in order to actually be able to house the camels. He's got the 11 camels queued up, guys, but this is 200 population. He needs to take the engagement over here. By the time starts getting the camels out, it might be too late. The amount of arbalisters that Hera's got, small amount of camels will certainly not suffice, and he needs to kind of balance his military. He needs some Gulam for the arbalisters, he needs some camels for the Cavalier. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that simple, right? Because take a look at the push over here. Castles go down simultaneously. We have a simul Tetris here for the same player. And the Cavalier just completely dominated. So Miguel, he's finally gonna be getting the space that he needs to go for the camels. For the time being, is not gonna give him enough space to get the camels out fast enough still. Actually, it's not going to be a matter of space. He does have the space. He does not have enough production potential to really saturate his population space. So Hera, still on 200 population. Miguel's on 144. And the units coming out, they need to mass up greatly. If they don't, then... like, what can he realistically do, right? He cannot fight this with a small amount of camels. He needs to get 200 population once again with full Imperial camels. Yeah, and Hera's sticking to Cavalier and Arbalesters. It's got a mighty 78 army. And here come the camels. Miguel cannot actually keep on going for any more units. He's housed. It's going to still be the case. You can take a look at Hera and he's going for houses consistently as well, so he'll be able to take those down. And Miguel, if he had one relic before, well, now he doesn't have it anymore as the monastery crumbles too. So Hera, he's in a very, very nice position. He's got a castle up on the left-hand side, so he's expanded his map presence significantly, while Miguel's been trying to expand over to the right-hand side. The only location Hera is not yet to be found. Here we go. Here come the camels once again. That is a big engagement taking place right now. And the Cavalier, they should get completely wiped out. However, the Arbalesters, they are looking so strong still. Are they though? How many do we have left? Wait a moment. What happened to the Arbalesters from Hera? They get completely cleaned up. And the camels! The camels are taking everything from Hera. Dropping Hera's population down to 125, and the Arbalesters over there completely melted. I thought there were a lot more than there actually were there. And now Hera's gonna have to bail back and try to figure something out. His push up until this point was fantastic, but Miguel's patience really paid off. If it weren't because of Miguel's patience, he wouldn't have gotten anywhere near as many camels to take the engagement with. He wouldn't have gotten the Imperial camel upgrade either. He probably would have tried to just hold on against Hera's current push with the units he had. And that would certainly have resulted, more likely than not, in a loss. But anyway... well, at the very least, Hera's able to defend himself for the time being. How much gold do we have left for Miguel? So he's collecting from this one. Although he got raided over there. Oh, wait a moment! Hera got a... what? How on earth did Hera manage to get a bombard tower next to the TC? I'll never know, but... that is actually really good. So that is one of the golds available to Miguel. The other one's going to be the main one that he's got for. This one's got about 800 gold left in it. Meanwhile, here on the other hand, he's got 1600 in this one. And then this one, I'm not really sure how much he's got. It's going to be about 1500 as well. So he's got over 3000 gold left. And Miguel is bound to run out of gold very soon. As a matter of fact, he's failed to replenish the military he's been going for up until this point. Check this out. 22 Imperial camels for Miguel. And yeah, Hera took the relic as well. He's got it. Oh my lord, he actually took the TC down. Fantastic, but yeah. Miguel has failed to replenish the military he has been losing up until this point, and the goal situation has not been the best. While his patience allowed him to get enough units to push Hera away and to get the first raid going, he did not have a strong enough economy to actually sustain the push. And that is one of the things that's the trickiest to get right in this game. You need a good balance between military production, patience, so that you can get a good amount of units to get the first push going. Then also, you need to be able to actually replenish and sustain the push. Replenish your army and sustain the push. Now, Hera. Well, Hera's gonna be the one to start getting the raids going. Miguel is gonna be losing a lot of villages over here. Left, right, and center. We see Hera's villagers scramble as he does not have enough space inside the TCs to garrison everyone in. It's not even going to be the end of the push, right? Hera's gonna continue going for more. He's got architecture right now, making the castle stronger. More towers now for Hera too. And it's got the half of the year coming up. It's taking Miguel's eco count down to 102 eco units. And the Phantoms are coming out, but the half of the year here! And the half of the year taking the elephants down right away. And these are siege elephants, not even just armor elephants, so it hurts so much that Miguel is unable to take the castle down given how much he invested into trying to free the left-hand side of his map. However, at the very least, now Miguel has expanded across the map a little bit more, and it's going to kind of match Hera in that sense. At the very least, he was trying to make a play for the right-hand side, although Hera seems like he still has some control because of the bombard towers. There we go, Miguel calls a GG. Well, Hera was bound to take this one. If the events from the last 5 minutes in game were of any indication, was in a very good position. He had some momentum building up. And we can take a look at the achievements over here and corroborate that. Very close to 1-to-1 kill ratio for Hera and Miguel. We're going to see for economy, a much stronger economy for Hera. However, 9,000 extra resources. And we'll see that relic gold is significantly higher for Hera as well. In the end, the only player with relics to speak of. Well, the villager max count was better for Miguel. Towards the end of the game, Hera was most likely not going to stay ahead himself, right? He was able to get a bunch of the villagers down from Miguel. Miguel was trying to recuperate, but Hera was in a fantastic spot. So let's go back, cross the sieves, and jump into game number 2. That was Ghost Lake going in favor of Hera. With the Chinese versus the Hindustanis. And for the next game, that one's going to take place on Miguel's home map. So it's going to be Nomad. We have Portuguese. We have Malians available for the players. So we'll see if that's what they'll use. Let's go. There we are. Game number 2 is here. Hera's up 1-0 against Miguel. We're going to just go 2x. Try and catch up. And I think we will be able to catch up to this game and go completely live in game number 2 already. And yeah, Hera's playing with Portuguese indeed. Miguel is playing with Malian. So these are the 2 civilizations I was expecting to see for this map. Unlike the Portuguese and Nomad, they can be very strong. You don't like to play them, or you don't like the civilization choice? I feel you lose the berries bonus. Oh, yeah, you do. You do, for sure. However, the Portuguese have been very strong on Nomad, like way before the bonuses changed for them. And because they are still going to have everything else that is relevant anyway for a 1v1. Like, it's not going to make a difference, right? But yeah, Hera with the Portuguese is gonna get 20% cheaper gold cost on units. Gonna have, in addition to that, 10% higher HP on ship units, on navy units. And besides that, we'll see for the Portuguese as well. 30% faster research and upgrades, in addition to access to Feitoria, the Imperial Age. Do you have 25% wood from berries? Of course, that's not going to be too relevant over here. Meanwhile, Miguel's Civilization, on the other hand, gets 30% longer lasting golds. He gets 1 extra Pierce armor and barracks units per age starting the field age. So going out to +3 defense, Pierce armor in the Imperial Age. That is besides the siege, the blacksmith upgrades. On top of that, we'll see for Miguel's Civilization that he gets also a 15% wood discount on buildings. That's one of the reasons why Malians are such a strong civilization on a map like this. Team bonus final is going to make the university work about 8% faster for the Malians, and that's going to be about it. I am greedy, I love Lithuanians and Nomad because of the extra food. They can be very strong as well, yeah. And guys, we have completely caught up to live gameplay. Hera vs Miguel, and game number 2 is going to be completely live for us. So what do we get? Fuel H is here for both these players. Miguel's gonna up on 23 pop, Hera's gonna up on 20 pop. We'll see the docks for the players be extremely far apart. One on the left hand side, one player on the left hand side, the other player on the right hand side. Nobody knows where the other player is. So we see still some navy come out, but it's going to take forever for the players to actually find the other player. Instead, Miguel is trying to make a play for land as well, as he's going for an archer range. And if we take a look at Hera, on the other hand, he's not going for it. No, no, no! I don't see any barracks coming out for the Canadian. I don't see much of anything coming out for the Canadians, as a matter of fact. Just navy units, and once again, it's going to take such a long time for them to actually find each other. Yeah, and Miguel got very close to spotting Hera's docks, but he hasn't. So this could be huge indeed. Blacksmith's coming up for Miguel as well. Legends on the way now for Miguel as well. And Hera, well, I mean, in this position, hey, there we go. He sails straight into Miguel's units. But yeah, here in this position is not really aware of what Miguel's been going for. His scouting information is very, very scarce. Miguel, I think Miguel is still stealth. Let's see what he can do. The charges in your base when you don't have even a barracks, that's going to suck for Hera. Yeah, he's going for the barracks right now. And check this out, he is aware of it now. He's got the vision. Hera, I think he got Town Watch. And he could see the archers. Now he's trying to go for his own archer range over here. However, Miguel probably would have been able to deny this one if he just kept on going, marching through with the archer as opposed to going back. Now we have 5 villagers that Hera's going to try to get the archer range up with. So Miguel, if he plays his cards right, he could potentially get one of the villagers down, maybe even 2. All 5? Not even close. He cannot deny the archer range anymore. But here he comes. The spearman goes down, but he's got the archers over there. And Hera's unit control has been fantastic. Notice he deletes the house foundations. He brings the villagers over to the other side and gets the foundations up once again. A palisade on the left-hand side. And gets the skirmishers out. So that was like really good unit control for Hera. That was absolutely fantastic. Took the spearman down, waited for the archers to roam around. And then he just created an obstacle for the archers so they wouldn't reach the villagers anymore. That was really well played. No damage. No damage whatsoever. So Miguel does have some skirmishers coming out himself though. So at the very least he's not going to be fighting with archers against skirmishers only. He's got some skirmishers himself. He's got significantly more Mediterraneans compared to Hera. So in the end he might be able to get some villager picks over here, but he's gotta be careful. There you are. Fantastic on the right hand side. Beautiful. And the pressure from Miguel is starting to ramp up. Hera doesn't really have too many defensive units himself anymore. And interestingly enough, Miguel not only comes out on top on land, but he's also gonna come out on top on water. If you take a look, he's the only player with Navy. Hera, well, he was the only player with Navy. Hera did go for 2 fire goddess over there, but Miguel is actually gonna be the one putting pressure the most in all of this, while still being able to get the resources to go up to the castle age, and both these players click up at about the same time. Miguel's lagging behind a little bit for whatever reason. So in the end, it's going to be a 9-second head start to the castle age for Hera, but both players could have clicked up at about the same time, and Miguel is the one putting pressure and getting a villager down already from Hera. Plus, of course, the one with the most land units roaming around. Probably microing something? Yeah, probably. Unit control for Miguel. Yeah, 10 seconds are not really going to do much of anything. Okay. Now the lumberjack has turned into a mason. What is that? Did you hear that? Of course, and every time that I want to to have you hear something, they stop. I have no idea. They seem like they are building a house outside. I don't know what they're doing. They're chopping the tree down and now they're trying to build a house. So there we go. Castle is here for both players. And interestingly enough, Hera has not tried to get any stone. So we won't see any organ guns coming out this game at all. Instead, he's just going to try to get water control with the Portuguese. He does get cheaper units. He does get extra HP on the Navy. So he might actually be able to get something done over here. Now, is that going to be enough? Should be enough. We don't have too many galleys here. Miguel's not paying attention at all, because he's paying attention on the left-hand side. Down south, though, we see now Miguel come in with knights, getting a villager down from here and pushing the skirmishers away. Because he chopped enough and needs to build a new lumber camp. That's true. Probably researching loom as we speak. Maybe. I have a real life villager, but it's actually very inconvenient right now. I need somebody to send a scout. Take care of that, if possible. Just keep it away from me. I don't want to see any murder in real life. Just video games, alright? Yeah, take that villager. Slay it. Slay it down. Convert him so he will work for you. Oh, that's good. Then I can just make it idle. Maybe it wasn't a lumberjack. Maybe it was a lumberjail. Maybe it's not a mason now. Maybe it's a masonette. Good defense for Hera. For the most part, has been able to stabilize. And water, we saw that he pushed Miguel away. Now he's finally getting to Miguel's side of the map, so he'll take on all of these units, and Miguel has not taken the time to go for the war galley upgrade, so it's kind of contradictory because he's also going for demolition rafts over here. He doesn't seem to want to give up on water, but at the same time, he doesn't really go for any upgrades himself, right? Let's see. Nice, there was shot. Wow, Miguel is taking all the fire ships down from Hera, but then on land he does end up losing 2 monks over here. I think he got 1 conversion only. He's got another monastery on the way, so that's going to be the 2nd monastery for Miguel. Here on the other hand, he's got 2 monasteries himself too. He's got knights coming out, and while Miguel was looking stronger, like decisively stronger, for the players clicked out to the castle age, Hera has done a really good job of not only catching back up for the most part, but also getting ahead in certain situations, right? The water earlier, even Miguel was able to stabilize in the end. The land right now is looking so much better for Hera. I'll hit until the stream finishes, then send them to mine gold and share the profits. I don't have any nearby gold mines, unfortunately. My nomad spawning when being born was not very favorable in that regard. We might have some quarries though. Maybe can get into to bring me some flint. Can't raid coming out for Miguel. The Shina villages go down. Hera hasn't been able to get anywhere near as many villagers down himself yet, and does not losing another knight to the conversion, but he's going to the conversion now, and it seems like he's going to get it, and just like that, the game is gonna be over as Miguel calls it GG. Hera's incredible knight push over here on land is going to be strong enough to prompt Miguel into stop trying over here. Just very interesting. It was probably going to be the one still coming out on top on water though, I think. But yeah, he didn't really have enough defense against these units. Well, he's got Malians. He could have gone for camels. He was actually going for camels. I think he could have kept on trying a little bit more. I think he could have definitely survived a little bit more. But yeah, you gotta feel it for Miguel. Hera right now is getting the series no matter what, and depending on what happens in game number 3, if he's going to get 3 additional points or if he's going to get just 1 additional point. Regardless, he's going to end up on either 8 or 10 points on the leaderboard, and he's going to be first by a lot, actually. So let's go and take a look at the achievements. Let's see what we get. Very nice. KD for Hera approaching 3-2. For economy, a stronger economy for Miguel, and I do agree with your statement that Miguel has been ahead until now. I forgot to enable the logo once again, sorry. But yeah, then Like he was looking better. He was looking better until he was not. And Hera, so to come back in this game beautifully, and now gets the chance of getting a clean sweep against Miguel. The next game will then take place the only remaining map, Arabia. For the civilizations available, we see Mayans, Turks, and Tatars for Hera. I'm expecting to see Mayans. And Miguel, on the other hand, has got Lithuanians, Franks, and Koreans. Next game is going to start in a moment. Look at that APM difference though, almost double. Let me check the APM rankings. Hera is 3rd. Next to El Matador and Shades for the 1st and 2nd spot, respectively. And Miguel, well, Miguel is nowhere on the leaderboard. So that seems about right. Yeah. But anyway, the game should be started in a moment. I think they changed the lobby, perhaps. Let me check. Nope, they didn't change the lobby. So for some reason, the dashboard is not working. Like the overlay that shows you guys. The players in the map. But we know it's going to be Arabia. I'm expecting Hera to be playing with Mayans, and Miguel from Lithuanians, Franks, and Koreans is going to make use either Lithuanians or Franks. And I would probably prefer the Franks, and it's going to be an old-timey match. Mayans and Franks on Arabia. Brings me back 15 years at the very least. If not more. Hey, there we are. And the game is starting, guys. Let's go. Franks versus Mayans is going to be indeed the matchup. So let's check what we get. Beautiful. Welcome you guys in to game number 3, the final one of the series. Hera playing the Mayans, Miguel playing the Franks. They'll be towards the southeast and northwest side of the map respectively, and starting with Hera civilization, the Mayans will begin with 1 extra villager at the expense of 50 food. Besides that, we also get 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the field castle and imperial legions for Mayans, as well as 15% long lasting resources. And for the team bonus is going to give Hera civilization a discount on walls. Miguel playing with the Franks will have instead free farm upgrades, so horse collar, heavy plow will come in for free. In addition to a 20% HP boost on cavalry units starting in the feudal age. Besides that, the Franks will have 25% cheaper castles. They will have, in addition to all of that, 15% faster working foragers. And for the team bonus finally, their knights get 2 extra line of sight, which can be absolutely fantastic, of course. Let's take a look at the map generation. You're mentioning the gold generation across the map. We're going to take a look at that for sure. Starting with Hera's resources specifically. For the blue player, we'll see that he's got the main gold forward. And then he's got both secondary golds extremely exposed on the left-hand side as well. Very much so. And then the stone is super exposed, the secondary one. The main stone is the only resource from the minerals that he's got that's going to be on the back. While for food, he does have the berries over here on the back. And he's got both the boars on the back as well, so that's good. Makes it harder to lame, for instance, but yeah, I would imagine we're probably going to get some walls like this, only so that he can secure the gold. Because it's honestly like a very poor map generation for Hera. Maybe this Gaia's way of balancing the teams. For Miguel, on the other hand, we're going to see that the red player, he's got the main goal on the back, which is already a much better generation compared to Hera. It's departure compared to Hera's map generation. And then he's got the secondary goal on the left-hand side forward. He's got the other secondary goal on the right-hand side. Not forward, but very, very far away. And for stone, he's got the stone kind of forward on the left-hand side, side-ish. And then the other stone, the secondary stone, is going to be towards the northeast. However, for as good as this looks for Miguel overall, he is going to struggle to protect his economy. He would need to go for some walls like this to protect the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, he can go for some walls like this from here to here and here to here. That wouldn't be terribly expensive, and he would be able to secure both these goals in addition to the stone. And there is even a wood line over there. You cannot see it, but it's underneath the scoreboard. It seems to me like he's probably going to try to be even a little bit greedier than this. Probably going for something like this. Yeah, I think so. And the only difficulty with going for walls like that is that, of course, it's going to be kind of hard to defend. He'll need to send some villagers to the back, maybe to collect some stone and the gold over there, so that he's got some at hand to go and protect this side of the wall, right? But we'll see if he does end up going for that or not. It's going to extend very far away from his DC, and it's going to require him to pull a villager away from his resources. And depending on how tight he wants his build to be, he might actually not really have the possibility of doing that. Yes, the right-hand side is very, very far away, so he would need villagers over there at hand to maintain the walls. PLH is coming up for both players at about the same time. Miguel is getting already some vision of Hera's base. At the very least, he knows where Hera's based. And Hera, on the other hand, he's got no idea where Miguel is, as a matter of fact. I remember when 18 population field H was basically only done with Mongols. Yeah, and now it seems to be the standard for most pros. 18 population might be a little bit still too tight. 19 seems to be kind of a standard for the Franks, but yeah, maybe for something like Lithuanians. Yeah, 18 villagers. Yeah, 18 villagers seems a lot more doable. 18 pop, that'd be like for Lithuanians, probably, maybe. In addition to the Mongols, right? Maybe the Hindustanis, because of the villager cost. Archer range is coming out for Hera. He's gonna start collecting the gold. And he is going for the walls that we were suggesting. Once again, though, that only secures the stone. And he's going for the walls. I thought it was going to go around the gold. I think it's better for him to go around the gold as opposed to using the gold as part of the walls. Like, come on, man. It's just going to be 12 wood. a little bit of villager working time, but it's going to secure that against skirmishers. In any case, Miguel is not really going for any range units right now. He's going to make a play for full scouts, and it makes sense. He was going up. And a pretty low population, so he was always going to be going for scouts. And it seems like he's going to try to go for the walls on the right-hand side. And interestingly enough, he's going for greedier walls than what I was suggesting. I was suggesting to connect both these wall lines, and instead he's going to connect this to this one. We have the scouts coming in from Miguel though. Pretty much right now. For the most part closed. Right hand side. Yeah, it's closed over here as well. Yeah, I don't think there's a way in for Miguel over here anymore, so he's got just 2 scouts to work with, and there's a lot of resources Miguel spent into going for scouts. He's got 5 scouts right now. Meanwhile, Hera, on the other hand, he just banked the resource for the most part. It's gonna be the first player to go out to the castle age. And this is, like, it doesn't seem to matter what Miguel does, and it's gotta be so frustrating if you're in this player's position. Like, it seems like it doesn't matter what you go for. Hera's always going to have the upper hand. He's always going to be one step ahead. At the very least, Miguel's not taking too much longer to click out to the castle age himself, but yeah, Hera's going to have decidedly a head start to it. Because of the Mayans, we could see potentially XTCs come up as well. And Miguel on the other hand, well, Miguel's probably gonna have to make a choice between something like double stable knight production, try to go full pressure against Mayans, or try to go for economy himself as well. This matchup is one that we have seen for a very long time. Franks versus Mayans goes way back, and it's not really a matchup that is going to have a clear winner. I think Franks might actually be a little bit higher in the KD, or actually in the win rate, when these civilizations face each other, but of course I would say the difference is small enough that even a somewhat modest difference in skill between the players is going to be enough for them to get a better game with either of these civilizations, so we'll see. Right now Miguel is going out to the castle age a little bit later compared to Hera, as we see the blue player has already a 33-second head start the castle age compared to Miguel, and he's got almost enough wood to go for a second TC once he gets there. He's going for Horse Scholar though, he's going for fletching, so that's going to take some resource away. But it seems to me like he should be able to go for at the very least a second TC once he gets to the castle age. He saw the hole, by the way. I imagine this is the one that you were talking about, the one from Miguel, and it's actually gone for the blacksmith so far away, so far forward to get extra surface area to work with. And now he's got 2 gold secured. He's got the stone secured. Yeah, it's just the 4 resources over here that are somewhat exposed. But of course, once Miguel gets to the castle age, he could very well end up going for a second TC himself, probably around here, right? And yeah, that'll be enough for him to secure the stone at the very least. Skirmisher is from Miguel. That's why I was talking about getting the walls up in front of the goal as opposed to just connecting to it. Because if Miguel does come out on top over here, the skirmishers can actually push the villagers away from gold. Or Hera. But here's the castle age for both these players. Hera's got the crossbow upgrade coming up. He's got only 1 archer left though. That's gonna be the 1 crossbow man. And never mind, he does not have any archers anymore. Now he's gonna have to start from scratch. Well, Miguel. There we are. Miguel's going for 2 additional TCs. He's got Bolsa Where military doesn't really have too much. One knight queued up. And no second stable at all. So I said he's gonna have to make a choice, and he's made his choice. Instead, he's going for full. Yeah, that's the TC I was expecting. We have the third TC. Instead, he's going to go for full economy, and then if he's got some surplus resources, he can go for a few knights and try to get the raids going. Meanwhile, Hera's going for full economy as well. The difference is that when Hera goes for the same approach as Miguel, his civilization actually allows him, or at the very least, a unit choice that he's made, allows him to go for military production at the same time as he goes for economy as well. It's not going to be quite as black or white as Miguel's civilization. It's like there are a bunch extra shades of gray for Hera. Miguel, on the other hand, is going to have like black, white, and like strong gray, sharp gray.
Shot it.
I'm colorblind. To me, it's still black and white. Remember when they used to say that about dogs? They could only see black and white. I think that's been debunked already some time ago, right? It's one of those quote-unquote common knowledge things that has been debunked already several times, or like a long time ago, but still somehow persists. Like the 10,000 practice hours to become an expert or something. Or that adults do not generate any new neurons as well. Yeah, I remember back in school they used to say that. Urban legends? Well, it used to be, I think. Well, for some of these things, I'm not really sure about the colors for dogs, but for the neurons, I think that's just as good as they knew. That's the best they knew back then. This game is going to be fairly peaceful over here. Not particularly eventful. Until the players go up to the Imperial Age by the looks of it. Yeah, most likely. My uncle once convinced my little sister that once people saw in black and white until color television was invented. She believed that Granny saw her in black and white. Right. Oh god. The mean uncle. Hey, we see a village go down. Well, actually, we don't, because the TC just came up at the same time. But behind the TC lies a cemetery of single villagers. They are building this TC on cursed ground. And the village is going to come back in the future and hunt the farmers. But Hera's got archers. He's got the potential to hunt a lot of extra farms over here. A lot of extra farmland. Right now, he is just forcing a little bit of idle villager time as Miguel needs to garrison. Working count, interestingly enough, is still going to be the same. Of course, Miguel, if he's able to keep all 4 TCs working, then he should be in a pretty good position. Hera is working with all 3 TCs, and it's actually right now managed to get ahead in villager count compared to Miguel. And this is not only because Miguel was going for wheelbarrow. As a matter of fact, Hera's got wheelbarrow and he's got already handcart as well. It's just that Hera's able to keep the TC working much more so. TC on the way for Hera now after seeing Miguel go for the 40C, does not want to miss out.
Shot it.
This economy is looking much stronger compared to Miguel. The Mayan bonus comes to play right now. He's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age so much earlier compared to Miguel. Not even close. Miguel instead is gonna get the first castle up. It's gonna be a defensive one. You can see how he respects Hera, as opposed to trying to go for an offensive castle and try to put some pressure up over here. He's just going for a defensive castle, expecting Hera to be the one to come in with units. Showing up with units, Miguel's doors first. But of course, those extra resources Miguel ended up spending, or ended up collecting rather, to go for the castle. Here on the other hand, just kind of funneled towards going up to the Imperial Age significantly earlier. So we're gonna be casually going to Imperial Age with extra resources. Yeah. Miguel, he'll be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. Hera's gearing up. Chain, mail armor, forging, and squires on the way for the Mayan player. You know exactly what this means. We're gonna see Point Boys. We're gonna see Eagle Warriors. And there are more than one Point Boys in this game. And the Eagles are the kind that I'm talking about. He's got 2 barracks, but that cannot be it only. Yeah, that does have another one over here, but only 3 barracks does not seem good enough to me either. Yeah, there we go. He's going for more. The 4, the 5th barracks in the way. And ideally he wants to get the castle up, of course. Now that he's gotten to the Imperial Age, he's getting access to El Dorado, but he needs the castle for it first. Five barracks means plume archers. Well, it wouldn't hurt. He's going for Arbalest right now, though. He already had a good amount of archers. He's going to upgrade those. Now he's going to find out about the castle and Miguel was the wiser going for the castle over there. Hera now needs to go all the way around the castle radius just to see what's behind there, to see if Miguel is actually exposed or not. And Miguel, he is anticipating that to be the case, so he's gonna get another castle up on the left hand side himself. That's the 3rd castle. He got another one on the right hand side, so he's got a lot of protection. The lane over here is going to connect both these castles' auras, so to say, or ranges. And Hera's finally getting the castle up himself. Still don't see any Eagle Warriors though. He's going for the wrong type of pointy boys. I'm probably just expecting Cavalier from Miguel, I guess. Well, it's alright. The pikemen are going to be better against knights. The thing is, I was kind of hoping that Hera's going to start going for Eagles, because getting to the Imperial Age as early as he did, or much earlier compared to Miguel, he could have taken advantage of going for Eagle Warriors, going for El Dorado. If he had access to the upgrades earlier and had a good amount of units, he would have been able to completely offset for the knights being a stronger unit simply by virtue of his units having Imperial Age upgrades. But now he's taking way too long to go for them. He's going to go for pikemen instead, and we need to see the halberdier upgrade come up as well, as Miguel is going for chivalry. He's going for cavalier. He's going for plate, bard, and iron casting, and conscription. Plate, bard, and numbers coming up now for here as well. He's got the resources. He needs to go for halberdier. He's going for it now. Yes, sir. And here come the cavalier. The pikemen are going to come in front. They're going to come in front, but the arbalesters, they are not strong enough to work out of the pikemen. So this army gets completely wiped out. Only 2 cavalier go down, and now Miguel's got some momentum. He still does not have as many units as Hera, even though the military count, or the military value rather, is significantly higher. There we are. Cavalier coming in, finally getting some damage done. The quick walls are not connecting from Hera. So is this going to be it? Is this going to be Miguel's hurrah in this series? Is this going to be first and only point that the Brazilian player gets against Hera? Well, Hera is getting a good amount of halberdier out, and he still has a significant amount of villagers over here. The Mayans being as effective as they are, as efficient as they are as a civilization, means that Hera does have a little bit of a buffer over here, and he can end up losing probably 20% of his economy population and still be competitive against Miguel. You can take a look at that. All the Cavalier going down. We have only 3 left over here, 4 left. The Cavalier going to take those down. Meanwhile, Hera has just finished researching conscription. He's got trebuchets on the way. Not a whole lot of units coming out though. A point against this beast of Hera is a good thing. Oh yeah, for sure. And if Hera does end up winning this by 2-1 as opposed to 3-0, he only gets 1 extra point over here, so he goes to +8. And Miguel only loses 1 point, of course. But if Hera takes this game as well, then Miguel is knocked down by 3 points further. And pretty dangerous demotion area. Actually, I'm not really sure if he will be able to come back from that. And Hera, on the other hand, yeah, he'll be very, very far in the first spot. So here come the Paladin, guys. We have already the final upgrade for Miguel's cavalry units. Paladin! Blast Furnace is here. Blade Body Armors is here. He's got Husbandry, I'm pretty sure. Hera's trying to hold on. He's doing a really good job for the most part. The Arbalists are taking on the Paladin over here. The Halberdier taking on the Paladin as well. There we are. Oh! Miguel! Miguel lost the castle! Miguel lost the castle to Hera's trebuchets! Oh, that's gotta hurt so much. He has to get 25% cheaper fortifications for Miguel, the castle specifically. You still don't want to lose hundreds of resources for free like that. And military count still very much favors Hera, so while Miguel does have the power unit, he does not have the power army because the numbers are not good enough. And Hera is coming out on top with the Arbalists of the Halberdier, taking all the Paladins down. Well, the KD is better for Miguel. It better be. He's playing with Paladin. And Hera does not really care about that. So long as he's able to take the units down from Miguel in the first place, that's already good enough for him, you know? There we go. We see a conversion coming up. We see the Arbalists, the Halberdier take on the Paladin, and Miguel respects the defensive army from Hera. And all of a sudden, the military delta over here is going to be such that Hera's army value, despite having much cheaper units, is so much higher than Miguel's. Want to retreat and mass Cavalier if you are Miguel Cavalry, if you are Miguel and trebuchets. Yeah, and he's going to do that right now. He's got a good amount of Paladin. He's got 40 Paladin over here. That would have been a full army back in the day. Now the number has been increased to 60, but he's not too far away from that. And here on the other hand is going for as many Halberdiers as he can possibly produce right now. And he's gotta go for it. In a world where 60 Paladin meet 60 Halberdier, the Paladin are coming out on top, so you need to get as many Halberdier as possible. And check this out. Check the unit control from Hera. He's trying to take advantage of the hill over here, so the Paladin take as much damage as humanly possible. He's got the Arbalists on the back. He's got the Halberdier in front. And it seems like the Paladin do still come out on top against the Halberdier, but they are not great in numbers anymore. We are going to see only 16 paladin left over here for Miguel, down from 40 or so, and it seems like many of these are very weak. The Arbalest is willing not taking these down, and guys, Hera's coming out on top. He's cleaning the paladin up, and Miguel is on the same population as Hera, but making a transition to skirmishers. His economy is, simply put, not strong enough for him to spam the paladin the way that he's been doing so far. And Hera is getting all of a sudden 3 times the military count as Miguel. The trade was not keen on the power unit of the red player, and Hera's unit control over there was absolutely instrumental. If it weren't because of the hill advantage, the unit control of Hera over there, I am convinced that Miguel would have won that one very convincingly. He would have gotten some great momentum. Meanwhile, now it's not going to be the case. Now the case is that Hera is going for a 4 castle. The case is that Hera, he's got a crap ton of extra units compared to Miguel. He's got momentum. He's got this castle going down next after he already took one down, where he's going for his own castle right now. And that's going to leave Miguel only 2 castles to defend an economy of 35 villagers, sorry. Which is just not realistic. Don't forget that those Arbaleths are cheap. Yeah, in addition to all that, as if it weren't cost effective enough for Hera, now it's so much better. And the conversion's going up, taking Hera above 200 population. And Miguel just cannot put his finger on an appropriate answer to Hera's push over here. Is just too good. And Hera's unit control, and Hera's decision making, and Hera's overall abilities as a player over here are just right now beyond the reach of Miguel by the looks of it. In this game, in this series, we haven't seen a moment of brilliance for the red player, unfortunately. And he goes on to call the GG. I should correct myself. In game number 2 with the Hindustanis, I think we saw a moment of brilliance for Miguel, but unfortunately it was not enough. And Hera, well, he's going to end up taking all 3 games in a row, which puts him at plus 10 points. Winning 4 series back to back to back to back. And pretty much guaranteeing, I think, the first spot. I'm not really sure, actually. I think there might be a chance still for somebody else to catch up. We'll take a look. Military, better for Miguel. Better than 5 to 4. Economy, stronger for Miguel. With about 8,000 extra resources collected, in addition to, what am I talking about? 12,000 extra. Oh, wait, hold on. No, yeah, 8,000 extra resources collected. I was right. Society looking better for Miguel. In the end, he does end up getting a few extra villagers out compared to Hera. He does end up losing the least villagers over here compared to Hera for sure, but it was not enough. Simply put, the army was too expensive and the unit control was not quite as good. Hera was just on a whole different level. In all 3 games, though, there was a point in which I thought Miguel clearly is winning that, but then out of seemingly nowhere, Hera comes back. Yeah, I agree with that. So just well done. Actually, it was game number 1 with the Hindustanis, right? Game number 2 was Nomad. So I should further correct myself. But yeah, in the end, Hera 3,